Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Factorio. This game is awesome. I've been playing it so much. The last episode we finished doing some research, I think, and so I haven't been able to do any more until we make those blue potions, and I've been focusing on a lot of things really. One of the things I've done is upgraded all these tracks to the red belt, which is faster, and that's so we can produce more materials, and everything's backed up at the moment. I'll show you why in a bit, but what we've done here is we've put the iron plates on one side and the copper plates on the other side of this track here, which is really important. I've now found out that putting materials organised like that onto a belt just makes things so much more efficient, because now you can see all of these inserters have access to both materials whenever they need them. So what I was doing is I was using these filter inserters to pick out the copper and then put them onto a track on the other side which fed round like that. But then I added this thing here, which is a buffer. It was suggested in the comments on one of the videos, and it's really good because what you're doing is you're transferring items into a chest, and then when there's actually room to put it on the track on the other side, they just get taken out of the chest. So these chests will fill up over time, but the thing is, when you're actually producing a lot and using a lot of materials, if there's not enough copper coming through, then these fast inserters are just going to keep taking them out of the chest. So it is a really good system. I really like that. So let's head down here. What's this producing? Okay, yeah, we set up that advanced circuit thing. I've actually set up another one of those. Now all of this is just backed up because we stopped researching, so we now have the tracks full of red potions and green ones, and we need to feed these things blue and purple potions. You can see we've got blue here, and I think some of these are purple, and so the plan is to put another track down on the other side that has those. One other thing that we could have done had I laid this out better, and I could still move all these labs over, is have the tracks go down side by side, so we'd have another track here where I'm walking for the blue and purple potions, and then we'd have yellow and red inserters, the red ones being the long-handed, and they would pick from the track on the other side. So you could do it like that, and if you did do it like that, you could then put labs on both sides, so we could have more labs over here as well, which is a really good idea. I think I might actually do that. That would be better. So over here there is a lot going on, as you can see. I've been busy. It looks like a huge mess, and the reason why is because it is. A lot of these tracks here are just, I haven't laid anything out that well, so it kind of goes all over the place, but let's do things one by one. First of all, these here are our potion assemblers. They were there last episode, and I think also, oh, that's another thing, you find you have trouble walking around because all the things are in the way. And this I think was set up last time. It's the rocket assembly. It's just these four here. You have them in a row like that and they'll assemble it. So I built another one on the other side, so we have rockets coming from over here, and I put all the rockets that I had in this chest, so that's feeding onto there. And this is going up to the top area where we're going to be assembling all the ingredients for the third science pack, the blue potions. No, can't get through there. Let's go up here. So we've assembled 3 of the 4 ingredients. The 4th one is the most challenging. I haven't started it yet. I thought we'd do that together a bit on camera. Well, actually, it involves quite a lot of thinking, so I'll probably do most of it off camera and then explain it. But that's the last thing we need to do for this potion pack, is automate the production of smart inserters. And this is going to be really challenging because look at that, you need a filter, and to get a filter you need a fast, and to get one of those you need a regular inserter. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to build and figure out there. So anyway, we've got all of our ingredients here, and the other thing that I haven't shown you is, well, I haven't shown you the steel. You can see that's just being rerouted from over here in the bottom left, and so that's why there's all those tracks going underground and stuff, because I hadn't really laid it out properly. So yeah, let's have a look at what this is over the right hand side here. Yeah, it all makes sense to me now. Okay, right, so this is our production of advanced electronic circuits, and what I like about this design is that it's expandable. You can keep just repeating the pattern to the right and you'll produce more and more of them, which is cool. That's something that I should always try to do. And so we've put the iron plates onto this track, which later on gets the copper. Do you know what, actually I'm going to take a moment just to remember how this works, because otherwise my explanation won't be as good. Okay, I now understand it. So we want to make copper plates, and we need to use that in 2 stages of this, in the electronic circuit and both the advanced electronic circuit. So that's why we have the track running this way down here, so it can go and meet up with the iron plates, and then all of these just produce copper cables. So the reason that we've done it like that is so that these ones here can take using the long-handed inserters from this track here, and the ones above them can take from the track up here, and they also need the iron plates as well. So they're transferring the items into the next one, which produces the advanced circuits, and they put them onto this track, and then the long-handed inserters take the extra copper cables from over there. So that's a really nice layout. I don't think you can make one too much better than that. I am quite pleased with that, because if ever you wanted to set this up, all you need is your track of iron plates on one side, and then everything over here becomes, you know, it's really dark actually because it's night time. Let me just put down a few of these lampposts so you can see what's going on. Oh, there we go. Forget about that, I do. Yeah, so it's got this nice design where if you need to produce more, you can just keep expanding it in this direction, and that is probably something that I should aim for with every type of production, is to have a repeating pattern. So as I need more and more of it, then I can just extend it outwards. But everything seems to be based off of copper and iron, so having this like master belt of resources, I guess you could call it, is a good idea too, I think. All of this down here is yellow. I haven't upgraded it yet because when all of this is running over this side, it tends to take all the resources it needs, and by the time you get to the part where the red track ends, which is right there, it doesn't cause the materials to back up. But everything is well and truly backed up at the moment because we are not producing potions. So the next thing for me to do is just to create the last part, which is to get the filter inserters, and then yeah, I've got to get all of that onto this track here along this side, and then this can be redirected to wherever it is that we're going to build the, what ones are they, blue potions, and then I need to find a way to send them back down here as well, which is going to be tricky because it's all a bit too compact, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure something out. And so one of the other things that I was thinking about doing a while ago, because copper was running low when the potions were still being made, I was actually building another copper setup over here, copper mine I guess you could call it, and then having a processing area over here somewhere directly dedicated to copper, and then it would just drop those materials onto this track, which I thought was a pretty cool way of doing it. So yeah, that is about it. I'm going to work on those, which ones are they? The fast inserters now. That's going to take me, no sorry, the smart inserters. That will take me a long time, but the goal is to, I think, to build it up the top here, just above this, and try and have the same thing again going on, where we can have a track with all the materials we want on one side, and then everything can be expandable this way, although I think that's going to be different, but that's what I'll try and do. Okay, I have managed to do it. We actually have a setup here that makes smart inserters, and the way that this works is we feed all of these materials off of the bottom into the machines using the inserters and the long-handed inserters, but this bottom track isn't actually needed over here because these last two recipes just use electronic circuits. So on the other side, ignore these long-handed inserters, that was me just messing around. They can actually be regular inserters, so we put them onto a track, and then what they do is they go up one block and they become the input on the next one, because we can use long-handed inserters to take whatever on this line here. So this is the output, and then it becomes the input on the next one. So that's how that works. You could possibly expand this so you have 3 of these in a row for each type of inserter. But now what we can do is take that track round and go all the way back over here, which is a long way to go, and then put it on this line here, and then you can see we'll have all of the ingredients for our 4th type of potion. So with that said and done, it may seem like a good thing, but I can't help but feel this setup isn't actually as good as it looks, because I'm yet to sort of learn how to calculate how much raw materials there are being produced and how well they're getting distributed, because what I foresee happening is a kind of chain reaction effect. Now this is going to be the first thing to go when we start producing those potions, because that's the whole reason all the materials we have everywhere are just sitting on the tracks like this. Everything's backed up because nothing's being produced, and the reason for that is we are producing potions. And actually we were producing something before which I disabled. Were these? I built one of these just to make some of those advanced circuits, and that had always been taking materials off of here. So that's why it was always moving along, and since I've disabled that, you can see everything is backed up all the way, all the ores, etc. all just completely backed up. These things aren't even putting copper into the buffer anymore. So the first thing that we have here on our assembly line that's going to take materials from our main track for the resources is this thing right here, and that's going to produce the conveyor belts, and then the next one will be the electronic circuits. So they're to produce the green types of potions. So as soon as those get used, when we start researching something, these things are going to start taking materials from the main line, and they have, you know, first dibs to it, if you like. And so then the red potions will start being used, they'll take some, and then all of this other stuff contributes to the blue. So one by one they'll start taking things from here, and by the time it reaches the end there's probably not going to be that many resources, which means all these things around here being later on in the line of events, it's going to take a long time for these to actually produce anything. So let's say that we started doing research and everything got backed up and the materials didn't make their way over to the top there. What's going to happen is these labs are going to fill up with potions, and then there's going to be a shortage of a certain potion type that they need, and so they don't do anything. They stop picking up the green and red ones, and because these have first dibs to all the materials, they're going to be producing green and red potions until they get backed up all the way to here like they are now, at which point the next thing can start producing, because these are no longer taking in materials. Then that will produce as much as it can, and I'm pretty sure that from what I've said so far you'll probably understand what I'm getting at, is that it's going to be really slow the way we've got things set up at the moment. So this is all learning and experimenting. I really do like this game. It's just like a huge challenge, it's like a puzzle, it's just really quite unique. It just takes some really good aspects of, you know, micromanagement, puzzles, and I don't know what else. There's other words I could use as well, but yeah, it just takes a lot of things and creates this really unique gameplay concept. And I absolutely love it. I think this is fantastic, this game. I'm so pleased that I found this. So we're going to start doing it now. You can actually see things get backed up straight away, really. Now that they are all going on their way, we're going to see things get backed up, because these electronic circuits are going to start getting used, and then these won't be able to produce them fast enough, so there'll be less of these in demand, and these will be the ones getting first dibs to it. And then it's not until, you know, they're fully produced that then the next thing can start producing, and so it's going to be slow, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all works. And I actually left a little bit of room here deliberately because I thought we'd be using more electronic circuits, so I can add an extra one there. And I think I'm also going to make it so we just have one of these factories producing iron cogs as well. So that's something I'll do in a moment. And I think I might take a cut here, I'm not sure. Where are we going? We're going all the way down here. Oh, like that. Okay. And so they're going to join the line down here, and then we're going to have all of our ingredients, and then we need to decide how it is that we're going to produce them and then move them over to where they need to be. This is actually going to be really difficult with the setup I've got at the moment. Yeah, so let's see if this has all started to back up yet. Kind of has. I think it's about to. You'll be able to see it in a bit. Yeah, you can kind of see it going on. Anyway, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. I try and explain things the best I can. Some people say I'm really good at explaining, but what I usually find is that I just keep thinking that I haven't explained it well enough, so hopefully I did there. So what do I need to do now? Well, I said it a moment ago, didn't I? So I'm going to be trying to put these into production to make potions. We're going to be using the assembling machine 2, which can craft up to 4 ingredients to make the blue potions, which we're then going to have to find a way to transfer down here. And I think I'm going to rearrange all my labs as well, so that we can do this with long-handed inserters and regular ones as well. I haven't set everything up just yet, but a couple of interesting things I want to show you. This didn't back up quite the way I thought it would, but it makes sense. You can see the rate that these things are coming along at, far and few in between. That's because everything else has first dibs before it. So these will kind of stay backed up like this because when this one's backed up, it's not taking in any more materials, so then they get passed down to the next one, and that's going to take all the materials before it reaches this one. So it always kind of stays like that, and I imagine if we had another one above these types of inserters over here that we were producing, then the green ones would be backed up as well. So as well as that, another thing that I want to do is not start producing red and green potions again, because I'm changing around the lines, the way the lines work. So this is going to come over this way one block, and then to the side of it here we're going to have our other types of potions come down, and then we're going to put labs on either side that can take potions from both tracks using the two types of inserters. So I've been using, I picked up all of the potions that are on the track, and I've just used these chests and inserters to put them back on like this. So then I'm going to do that up here as well, and then when we add these potions into it again, it only needs to make a few more, and then it's backed up fully like this, because that's how I want to keep it at the moment. Okay, here it is, the new setup. Everything is working. You can see some blue potions coming in. I think that's the only one that's actually doing any research. Maybe this one is as well. The blue potions actually come in at a really slow rate, so all of this was completely unnecessary. We probably only needed about 4 of these. And I don't think I'm really going to be able to produce the blue ones that much faster, because we've run out of space to do this over here. Although what we could do is turn these lines around a corner so they go up here. Actually, that would have been really nice. If these had gone upwards, then we can have these things in the middle and we're short of power. Okay, I'll explain why in a moment. Yeah, these things would be in the middle here, and then they'd transfer onto this line that goes down, so that would be an idea. Anyway, we are running out of coal. That's why we're having power cuts all over the place and production is slowing down. I actually wanted to see what would happen to all the production now that everything was going to be producing potions. I was expecting to see loads of our materials disappear, but then we started running out of coal, which is no good, and now it's dark, you can probably hardly see anything. There is a coal patch all the way over here. Do you know what, you're not even going to be able to see that. There's a very big one the other side of those trees. So I'm going to reroute all of that onto the same track that we have here. And I was just thinking, this whole one line for all the materials thing, it's not probably the best way of doing things, but you know, it's a learning curve. There's a lot to learn in this game, so I imagine I'll be making more worlds in the future as I learn more, and we'll have even better setups than this. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. We're going to sort out the problem with the coal, and then I'm going to see what happens when we have all of these potions being produced and the research being done. Okay, I ran out of iron and I've just decided to stop my copper production completely because there was a few bits getting through our buffer, getting through onto the other side, and these, look, there's plenty of this here, absolutely tons of it. In fact, I should probably take a fair amount of this and evenly distribute it at the moment, because what I want to do is now run off of all the materials that we've put into the buffer, like that. I'll sort that out later. But basically there's going to be no copper production coming through for a while now. We're running out of iron ore here as well. Let's zoom out. Was there another one in the area? I can't remember. I'm sure there is another patch somewhere nearby, but we're going to have to replace all of that soon. And yeah, so nothing but iron ore going through now. And it does seem like that means less materials overall because it's on one side of the track. So yeah, what we really need to do is go over the top and just completely find a new patch, completely go all out of it, and send through a line like this that has full iron on either side of the belt, and then that way you can manage it by doing things like this, cutting off the resources or cutting the belt off here so less comes through. But having it all on one side is now meaning that less is getting through into this bit here, because when we had copper on the other side as well, where each one goes through, there'd always be two. So yeah, I need to find another iron ore patch and hook that up. There's one other thing I was doing. I needed to pick up plates to craft more belts, that's right. I don't actually carry a lot of materials on me. That's something that I usually do when playing this game, but now so much stuff is automated, it seems silly to hold on to all the materials. So what I need to do now is just put all of these in place. I'm going to put some lights and some poles either side of them. Oh. Okay. And then we can put those conveyor belts down like this. And then, oh, I'm going to sneeze I think, 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, we can just keep expanding this upwards, although there's this water here that's in the way. I guess we could turn these round to the side and come along here and yeah, keep producing more. But I don't really think we're making enough materials from these to do that. I think we need to upgrade the red belts into the faster ones, which is what we're researching at the moment, by the way. We are researching logistics 3, and we can get the express transport belt with that, and that just means we can put so much more materials onto it. So that is being researched. I think I'm going to focus on getting a new iron patch up and running, maximising the copper one as well, also the coal, and make it so we can just pump, you know, a ridiculous amount of materials onto these conveyor belts, and then we can upgrade them if we want to as well. At the same time, I'm going to be keeping my eye on all of this. Do you know what I need to do? Put down some lampposts so you guys can see what's going on here. No, apparently it's the wrong place to put it. There we go. Totally forgotten what I was saying. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to keep my eye on all of this, how it's all going. It looks good at the moment. One thing I do have though is this, I don't know if you'd call this a buffer, but it's kind of similar. I produced a load of these earlier and put them into a chest, and so now I put it on the end of this line here, so they'll get put down at the end. So whenever these get shuffled along, there's no room for these to place down some more materials, so it works like that. We've got another one over here. I think that one's finished emptying them. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Well, I've just checked the time on the episode. That is all we really have time for. So what I'm going to do in between this episode and the next is work on getting it so we can have it like this. Wherever our copper comes from, it's going to be, you know, a maximum input. Same for the iron as well, coal, and then we'll probably start upgrading all of the belts and see how all of our setups here would cope with the extra amount of resources coming through, because at the moment you can start to see that they're running out. The copper is plentiful because we have the buffer, so it's just emptying all of that at the moment, so that'll always be on maximum, but you can see the plates are hardly getting through. In fact, it's backed up at the moment. Aha, every now and then this little bug happens. So maybe we're not as in a bad situation as I thought we were, but we're going to be exclusively producing iron in a moment. You can see, there we go, it's now just nothing but iron going through, which is cool. So yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.